see far. Or like today, they gave me like 41 for mine. You're not supposed to get that many for 4 hours.
Bro, that shit is nothing.
We're just waiting for our guest today, then we'll get things started.
I mean, I got it done in like 3 hours, but like normally you're supposed to get like 25 packages. You had like
Bro, for 25 packages, I had 25 packages in an hour.
So what? It takes you like 2 minutes to stop.
You don't organize it by like the little.
Waiting for Jake to get in there.
I just
Jake, come on, man.
From where you live at. Like,
yeah.
Let
me see.
Switch them up into
letters. Hey, move it this way just a little bit.
Your way?
It's for like the area.
No, like
it's for
turn the camera.
So like you get all your C's done and all your
nigga.
Yeah,
okay. Like this.
Right.
Take the camera.
I saw
move this way.
3 A's and 3 B's.
Like that?
3 B's.
All right. Oh,
come on.
Like that.
Like that?
Yeah, you good. You should be able to see you.
I was gonna be sideways, nigga.
I just did like.
Jake, turn your phone.
No, man, we good.
No, Jake.
My phone.
We
Right,
good.
turn your phone.
Oh my god.
So turn that.
Yeah.
Try it.
Can you
All
see
right,
it?
let me try that.
Just kind of vertical.
It might not be. Is it going to capture all of it? No, why would it not?
Yeah, that's good like that. All right, there we go.
I just want to start off by this podcast by saying Jake a bitch.
Yo, wow.
I won
been
the
hot.
league, bro.
You got a rebuttal.
Me and
hot
Should I
today.
scoot this like slightly that way? More in the picture.
Yeah.
Too
Tom,
well.
put it into you.
All right, fine.
Here, shoot.
My fault. All right, y'all ready?
There we go.
All right.
This ain't do nothing.
Hey guys, thanks for watching. Thanks for listening. This is your host, Thomas Sorry from On the Hot Podcast. Today's episode is going to be episode 84 today. I'm joined by Fred Harris, Rob Cerasuolo, Curtis Green, and our guest today, Jake Dellanoce. So we're going to kick things off by talking about our fantasy league. So we're going to be summarizing our second ever fantasy league for On the Hot Podcast. So I just talked with Curtis and Fred because they didn't know before the podcast. So this year we're going to do co-champs due to the fact of what happened in the Monday night game, Week 17 with Damar Hamlin. Short story short, I had a lead on Jake, but he had Josh Allen playing in that game, and I thought it was fair because you eventually caught me if the game finished. So I thought it was fair that we split the championship this year. So me and Jake would be champs this year, and then I'll give you your trophy when I see you this weekend, Jake. But what did you say, Kurt? What did you say?
Yeah, the topic you was about to say, go ahead.
Yeah, we're going to be sharing our thoughts on how our fantasy teams went this year. So who would like to start first?
I didn't pick my team. My team was drafted. And I still almost won. I finished 5th. So, you know what I mean?
You had some trades though.
Yeah, you did make some trade. You made the trade. You made the trade of the year.
I made
minus
probably
Devon.
like one trade. I traded. Davon ain't make no trades, did he?
Yes, he did. He gave Jalen Hurts.
Yeah, he
Devontae
did.
Smith. What? Yes.
Yeah.
Oh my god.
Yes, he traded him. Yes, that's why we were all heated about it at the beginning of the year.
You gave him like the number like 2 quarterback in all of fantasy or whatever. What was he, 2 or 3? He was
I think it was 2. He might have been 2.
Mahomes was definitely.
Oh,
Josh Allen was 1 because I had him.
But
Yeah.
It might have been. I think
Mahomes was up there.
Yeah, he might have been.
Because I had him on one of my teams, and he was going stupid the whole year. His lowest game was like 25.
Yeah.
It was crazy.
Kurt, you said you didn't draft your team. You could have been like Davon and ended up with 4 quarterbacks on your roster because he didn't properly draft his team.
Well, I was going to try to finesse and just not draft my team and then see if I could win so I could just rub it in everyone's face that I didn't draft my team and I still won. You guys all suck. But it didn't come out that way. So
I mean, you were close. You was
close
getting
because
high
I made a trade with Fred to get Devontae Adams. I gave him Derrick Henry and what else I gave you? Terry.
Give me one more person. I can't remember.
It's probably nobody.
It was a running back for the Patriots, not Ramondre Stevens, the other one. The nigga that didn't play. Yeah, Harris.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, but you know, cool little season. I gotta get my get back though. So.
What about you, Rob? The now former champ of this league, but the inaugural one. How did your season go?
Well, I swear, I feel like I should have won the ring again. I'm not gonna lie.
But you know who knocked you out, though.
I know, because did you see my? All right, I'm gonna read everyone on my team right now to end the season, and literally 90% of this team was picked up in the waiver wire. So I had Kirk Cousins, I had Etienne, Ty Algier, Christian Watson. I got St. Brown from Kurt in a late season trade. Cole Kmet, Jamal Williams, Pat's defense, and some random kicker. I had a couple of guys on the bench too from the waivers, like Murray, and Jacoby Myers, Zach Moss. None of them really panned out. I'm not gonna lie, except for Murray. But yeah, to say the least, I suffered a lot of injuries to key positions this year. I still came in third. But, as Tom said, he knocked me out. So, I guess it was revenge from last year. But, I had injuries to Cooper Kupp, Damian Harris. What's his name? Damian Pierce.
Oh, yeah.
That's what I don't know why I was saying Harris. But, yeah, that really hurt. Pierce and Kupp were carrying my team for a while. Especially when Pierce was starting to heat up and get more carries. But, it is what it is. Fantasy, you can't really control what happens, and you just gotta do the best you can to pick up waiver wire picks and stuff like that. And I feel like I did pretty well with that, but, yeah. Didn't get the ring, so it doesn't matter.
Always next year. What about you, Fred? Your team was red hot at the start. I thought you was gonna be in the mix, and then what happened?
I had a solid team to start the year off. My quarterback got hurt from Jackson. Unfortunately, he went down. I made what I thought was a smart trade with Curtis. Unfortunately, did not turn out to be so well. Trading him Devontae Adams for Derrick Henry, and Derrick Henry slowly faded away while Devontae Adams had a couple very big games. So, yeah, I ended up towards the bottom of the pool for this year. All I got to say is for next year, if we put some money on it.
That's what I've been waiting.
Well, that might be the next step next year.
We put some money on it, you're going to see a different type of Fred. That's all I got to say.
Yeah, we might do that to increase the skill level. Some guys got to be out, like Bernie Mitchell, going Christian.
I can't believe I lost.
Hey, you guys,
I'm about to start one time. I was so hot.
Yeah, you got swept by him, Rob.
My team scored like 80 points that week. His scored like 100 and something. I got waxed by that nigga too. This shit was bad.
Yeah, bro. They literally. Did you guys see how like the app had like a flashback of your season? Well, it's like a quick little flashback, and one of the things on there is like, remember this game, and it was like the closest game of the season.
I did.
And that game was the game against Bernie Mitchell when I lost by 1 point.
Yeah, I think I lost to Davon by like 0.3 or some shit like that. That shit was fucking bullshit.
What about your team, Jake? How did you feel about your team this year?
At the beginning, I didn't feel too well. It was like a 500 team, but everybody started to get healthy. Jettas went off. Everybody crucified me for getting Jettas.
Yeah.
But I had second overall pick. But I knew with that offense he was going to break out. But it was a 500 team, and James Conner came back healthy. I had picked up Mostert from the waiver wires, and he was a good addition for a couple weeks. And Mike Williams came back healthy. So guys started getting healthy, and I just made a run for it. And like you said, if Josh Allen would have played the whole game, if the game would have finished, or if DeMar Hamlin didn't happen, I probably would have won outright. But I guess I just got hot at the right time. I felt like I drafted pretty well, but I didn't feel like I didn't have, probably by like week 8, I didn't think I had a championship roster.
I want to add, though, real quick, because I did help y'all out when I added 6 teams. I thought it was more interesting when I did that, so I'll probably do that again next year. And then the advantage by 3 points, I thought was pretty good, too. I'd probably say my fantasy team, I always start off slow every year. I swear I started this year either 1 or 2 or 1 and 3, but then I won 8 games in a row and got hot. Yeah, I was 1 and 3 because I went 9 and 3, then I lost the last 2, and went 9 and 5. Then I got a bye week in the playoffs. Then I robbed out because I basically handed in the championship last year by that stupid trade I did. But and then me and Jake played in the playoffs. Like Jake said, the DeMar Hamlin thing happened, so I thought it was right that we split it this year. So yeah, I felt pretty good about my team. Pretty good season. Definitely, I think it was pretty competitive throughout. I think we're gonna have to take some guys out that didn't know what they or didn't set their lineup every week. So I thought it was a pretty good season. My team was basically the backbone of my team was basically Austin Eckler, who always got touches, always touching the ball, either rushing or receiving. And Tyreek Hill was the bright spot of my team also. So they're the backbone of my team. But what no, actually I'll ask you guys, what was your biggest draft mistake? Biggest draft mistake. I got a lot actually. But
I feel like mine might. I mean, if I had to add maybe 1 or 2, I feel like one would be not taking more receivers that were in higher rounds.
Yeah.
Because usually how I played fantasy over the last few years, I would always draft running backs first because they were normally more valuable because you can run and catch the ball. But I feel like this year you really start to see how valuable some of these receivers are. The ones that are getting 15 targets a game, catching the ball 12 times a game, especially in PPR. I mean, I know next year I might take a receiver first overall, next year in all my leagues, just because of that alone. I'll probably get somebody like Jefferson or Cooper Kupp or Devontae Adams or, someone like that.
Yeah.
But another is probably, I don't really know. I guess maybe looking into tight end sooner as well.
Yeah, I'm gonna get to that.
I started the year off with Cole Kmet.
I'm gonna get to that in a second.
I ended the year with Cole Kmet.
I know, I see that.
So, I mean, yeah, it's hard though, because tight ends, there's literally only 4 good ones.
Yeah, that are useful for fantasy basically. Well, right now in the league, there really isn't. I mean, you can name 5, but
I drafted Kyle Pitts in this league.
Ooh.
He was. He was ass. He was ass.
I was gonna say.
Desmond Ritter.
Yeah.
He had at least a decent QB. Lamar. I think he went off. I'm just
They don't know anybody get traded. Think about just losing his job.
he has to sign first.
So would you say that was your biggest draft mistake, Kyle Pitts?
Probably either Kyle Pitts or Deebo Samuel. Deebo Samuel kind of fucked me.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, he didn't really stay healthy as much.
Absolutely.
I had him the year before, and he was an animal.
Yeah, I thought he'd do something like that.
But then he just declined.
Nope.
Who would you say your biggest draft mistake was, Jake?
Probably not taking a running back sooner. I know I got James Conner, but they were off the board quick. And I didn't really realize it until probably midway through the draft, and there was really nobody to pick up. So I probably should have taken – but I did get Jefferson, so I was happy with that. But my running back core was kind of low. I wanted at least two solid running backs. I got one, James Conner. He missed a few games, but yeah, I should have took running backs probably a little higher up. But I do know receivers do mean more, especially a PPR league. So.
I feel your pain, brother. I had William Hunt as one.
Yeah, it's tough.
4 points.
I was gonna say you already know Nick Chubb carrying the load.
I think like one game he had like 15 points. I was so excited. The next game came off.
Yeah, for me, my biggest mistake was John. That man was supposed to be a #1 receiver for Pittsburgh, which he was, but like I think he had over 90 catches and did not have one receiving touchdown this year. How do you do that? So like basically in like games where I needed him to show up, he would only give me 10 to 11 points. Nothing really much. Other than probably another mistake for me was Matthew Stafford. That man had oh my God. Yo, Jake, when I was playing Brady Mitchell, I only needed him to get 6 points. He went his points up and down the whole entire game.
Yeah.
6.5. Then he'll get 6.9. Then an interception, 6.2. I'm like, yo, please just win me the game. So
Did you end up losing?
no, I won. Hopefully, like he threw a pick. Like he threw a pick in a 2-minute drill, but I think I was up by like 2 points. But like his points, like.
Yeah, you won by like 1.5 points.
I mean, he still only finished with like a few.
He finished 7th. He didn't. He
texted me and swore up and down. He was in the championship game. He said, "Yo, what happens if I win y'all little league?" I was like, "What, bro? I'm in the championship." He said, "No, I made it to round 3." I had to explain to him it was the losers break.
Yo, that's crazy. That's wild.
He was playing Christian Soto in the losers bracket. Last one before we go on to the next topic. What would you guys say your what fantasy strategies do you guys have throughout the season?
I guess you wanted the first.
For what? Say it again.
What strategies do you have throughout the fantasy season? If your team is struggling or you think your team is good but you want to make improvements, what do you think the best strategies are?
Trade for some solid picks. Somebody who's more consistent, I guess.
Okay.
Because it's hard to find people who are really consistent. You know what I mean? Matt Stafford, that nigga sucks. You should have got that nigga out of there.
All right.
I'm gone.
I eventually cut him because he didn't finish. Yo, I had to ride the season out. My quarterbacks down the stretch was Daniel Jones.
Hey, he was
No, he was. No, Daniel Jones was for PPR league. I will give him that. He was good. But
he was top 12, I think.
Yeah, he was. I had Daniel Jones, Taylor Heineke, and 1 week I had to start Mike White. So, like, I'm fucking.
I started Mike White, too.
Bro,
I mean, that's not a bad start.
I think that's the only thing I did not have this year was a good quarterback.
I mean, I had Ryan Tannehill and Zach Wilson. That's worse.
Oh, Zach Wilson.
Bro, I didn't have anybody.
Also, I had Andy Dalton.
Oh yeah, no, I had to start him like 1 week in one of my leagues, and he had like 8 points. So
I gave up and just let him run the show for the rest of the season. You are my QB1.
What's your strategy, Rob? You're like always in the mix every year.
So, I mean, I have a couple. Like, obviously, I'm big on the waiver wire. I'm in there like a couple of times a week, just looking at people that I can add. Like, I was constantly on there for receiver help this year, especially when Cooper Kupp went down. You know, I got Christian Watson from there, and towards the end, that really helped. He was going crazy every game, getting touchdowns every game.
Yeah.
Before that, you know, it was Rondale Moore for a little bit that helped because he got targets in that offense. You know, I pretty much just looked for anyone that had a consistent like target share in an offense, and I try to get them, whether it's through trade or through picking them up in the waivers. Like, you know, like Kurt was saying, you just gotta look for someone who's consistent. I mean, like, you could go for the people that are like boom or bust, you know, but when it comes down to it, like, you could be in a playoff game and you have someone like Gabe Davis, they'll get you like either 30 or 2. So there's no in between.
Yeah.
So, like, I'd rather have a guy that's getting at least, 12, 13, 14 points a game, on a consistent basis, I could care less if he, doesn't go off for 30. Like, if he gets me 15 every game, then that's fine. Like, I know I can win with that. So, yeah.
Any strategies for you, Fred?
Just stay keeping up with your team. Watch how your guys are trending. When you do go to make trades, I always look for a team that's not doing so well because they're also trying to make a big splash. So it's always good trade bait right there.
Yep.
I couldn't find nobody to get you a trade bait.
I think Tom, so I was like, let me hop on that second.
Yeah.
But yeah. Also, when Rob said, keep your eye on the waiver wire because that definitely would be a saving grace.
Yeah. What about you, Jake? Any strategies?
Just probably the waiver wire. Like I was with Rob, I was looking at it multiple times a week for probably running back help. But if you just gotta look at it, look how the players are trending, look at their recent performances. That's what I did, and I think that's the biggest one. Just look at the waiver wire, and then like Fred said, try to look for a team that's struggling to maybe give away some of their players, but. That's
I probably
all
said
I have.
the same thing that you guys. Are you all right?
Oh my god.
I probably said the same thing that everybody else said. The waiver wire, like the team I drafted was like the main players stayed on my team, but like half of them I didn't even draft because like I was on the waiver wire each week. I had like a new player, like definitely defenses. I always had like I think I drafted the Packers defense and the Dolphins defense, and they were both off my team by like week 4, both of them. So like definitely the waiver wire. You can always find somebody there. I could say a strategy for me, drafting wise. I know Rob basically does the same thing. I think for now, or like what I'm gonna do from now on, which I normally do, is wait for a quarterback when you draft.
Yeah.
Because like in a PPR league, like I think receivers and running backs are more important too. Normally I wait until about round 7, round 8 to get a quarterback. I mean, last year when we first did it for this podcast, I had Kyler Murray, but this year it didn't work for me because I had Matthew Stafford. But I think I'm gonna keep doing that because I think having more running backs and receivers are more important.
Yeah, like it's usually a hit or miss with that. Like, yes, it is good to take a quarterback later. I was seeing a little more how they were a little more valuable, with people like Justin Fields getting 15 carries a game.
Yeah.
He was huge in a couple of my teams. Like I won a ring in another league because of him. But I had Kirk and Geno Smith as my quarterbacks finish, and they were both top 10. So
yeah.
Geno I picked up off the waivers in the first few weeks of the season, and Kirk I drafted real late. I did say on the podcast before we did the draft that I was going to take Kirk. And
yeah, you just.
I took him again.
Yeah.
So, I did sleep on him though. Like in a couple of his games, like I think it might have been against you, Tom, where actually, no, I definitely started Kirk against you. I'm trying to see what happened with my team.
What do you have, a big game one week?
Like he was like the last few weeks of the season, he was on OC, and I had him on the bench. And then I didn't start him again, and he had 23, and then Geno had 12 points.
Dang.
Yeah. I had a bunch of people on the bench that could have got me the dub against you. I'm not even gonna lie.
It's always next year.
Jacoby Myers had 20, Kirk had 23, Algier had 16. London had 15. New England defense, 11 points. You did go off against me, so.
Like I said, we'll probably make it more competitive next year. I know all of you guys have been competitive through it this year, so everybody in here will be in it. Definitely some guys out, maybe put up some donations for myself, because y'all be donating to me next year when we play, so.
Hey man, when you have a ring, when you have a trophy sitting in your room,
not a co-champion trophy either.
Nah, that co-champion trophy is
It's fraud.
It's
fraud.
They're leaving with this co-champion trophy.
It kind of sucks. Not gonna lie, you didn't win, so He win for real. For
But
real.
honestly though, if you would have calculated it out, if Josh Allen would have finished the game, would that nigga beat?
Yeah.
Damn,
That's what I said.
For real,
But the thing is, they say final score, and I was up. So that's why I said, hey, you can make an argument for
that
me.
shit you say final score though. Ain't gonna lie to
So
you.
that's
That
why I
shit say
said
final
no.
score.
But that's why I said you can make an argument for me and Jake. So that's why I said a fair way to do it was.
Well, hold on though.
No, the fair way was to give him the dub.
Well, hold on though. Time out. What ESPN said?
No, the final score said I won the game, but
Hey,
the game ended in the
Yeah,
first
he
quarter.
won,
So
yeah.
that's why I said it's fair to do it like
But
that.
yeah,
that's tough.
Didn't Rob say a dub is a dub?
Dub is a
Rob
dub.
did
No,
say
I
that.
gotta be fair with that because if I was on the other end of that, I would have been pissed. If someone was like, "No, that's it," no, I would have been pissed. So that is the fair way to do it like that.
Sure.
But next year, just know.
Nah,
You gotta win one on your own before you start talking big dog stuff.
Oh my gosh.
Just
I'm talking about donations.
Where were you
You
at? I was
there
in
with
the
the big dogs yet. You ain't got the trophy yet.
I'm taking him out again. All right.
I'm gonna fleece you again. I'm gonna take half your team.
Nah, you
For
just.
somebody
Matter of
like
fact,
this
before we go to the next time, you trying to take Tyreek Hill from me. He tried to give me. Who's the
I tried to
Lions
give
running
you
back
like
beside?
three
The
people.
one
Jamal?
dude. Yeah, Jamal Williams. You gave me somebody else. I said I cannot do this. He gonna win the championship if I do this. But yeah,
I think I've offered you like 3 people for Tyreek Hill.
yeah, you did. Yeah,
Yeah.
but I couldn't go through with it because it was about to be a finesse.
My team at the beginning of the year needed running back help, so I was on waiver wire for running back help. Then my QB got hurt, so I'm looking for QB help. And then I traded this nigga my wide receiver, so now I'm looking for wide receiver help. My whole team need help. Fuck this.
Good year, fantasy. Good year, fantasy.
Nah, that's a low-key right.
All right, so this is gonna be a good one. Moving on to the next segment, we're gonna be ranking our most trustworthy quarterbacks heading into the playoffs, 10 through 1. So what you guys are gonna do is you guys are gonna say your quarterbacks that you guys believe in, 10 through 1, starting at 10, and then working all the way to 1. So
for the people who are we doing like the wild card or like
anybody, any team that's in the playoffs,
okay.
like that's not even like the Chiefs and Eagles are playing, so they
I
count.
mean, but like
Wait, you said they don't count or do?
No, they do count since they're all in the playoffs. So any quarterback that's officially in. So let's start with you, Kurt.
nah, I don't want to start first, Thomas. How about you start first?
Right.
Right.
Thought you was the host, fuck nigga.
Right. You
All
go
right,
first.
all right. I'll start first, but it ain't gonna be. Y'all ain't gonna like who next after 10, so like who's after that. So
Go ahead.
all right, so 10. I can't. Kirk Cousins, he just stops right there for me. He can't go higher than 10. I mean, to be honest, listen.
what?
Hear me out.
What?
I mean,
Right.
This list
he's
is
already
wrong.
played. You gotta hear me out. Look, he's played the best of his career this season, right? The third seed, but he has the skilled players around him. He's got Dalvin Cook, Justin Jefferson, Adam Thielen, T.J. Hawkinson. But how can you believe in him? He's allergic to playing in big time
Wait,
games.
is 2 a point?
No.
So
who
the
else?
Dolphins
Never mind,
QB?
I'll
Who the
get
fuck
to
is
it.
that nigga?
I ain't put him on my list.
Who-
Well, I said
Oh,
10 through 1.
My fault.
Yeah, 10
I
through
thought we were
1.
ranking all of them. My bad.
So Cousins is allergic to big time
Bro
games, so I
ranked
can't put him any higher.
Wow.
I think he's on upset alert, but we'll get to that later. But I really can't trust him. He can put up as many points as he can, but the Vikings defense has been suspect all year. They've won like so many one-possession games, so it's like I can't trust them.
Billy getting rotated by the Colts.
9, Lamar Jackson. The only reason why he's really low on my list is because he's missed over 14 practices and 5 games. So it's like if you go out there on Saturday, how are you gonna be able to produce at the high level that you can, making throws, going on the run when you have to? So I don't feel too confident about Lamar because of his health and the playoffs. So that's why I put him at 9. So 8.
8.
I'm out. I can't say 8. No, 8 is. I have to say.
This
Dak is at 8
Dak?
because
Oh,
I had to put him at 8 because I'm losing patience with him right now. It's like Are you reading the field the right way? You have your whole career. It's like, are you seeing ghosts? What are you seeing out there? Because this is not the way he's played. He has 7 games with an interception and leads the league in picks, even though he missed 5 games this year. So it's like, how can I really trust you? I can't really trust him until proven otherwise. In the playoffs, though, I will say, even though he has a 1-3 record, he has played pretty good in those games. When you look at those losses, he lost to Aaron Rodgers, Jared Goff, when the Rams went to the Super Bowl that year, and then last year the 49ers, which they were in the NFC Championship. So he's lost. Those losses are to pretty good guys, but I can't put Dak any higher than that. Rams. The Rams that year. They went to the Super Bowl that year.
Who's there first?
Aaron Rodgers. That was his first playoff loss.
That nigga Rodgers kind of selling the playoffs. In the last 2 years.
Yeah.
That nigga's not very good in the playoffs.
7, I say Brock Purdy. I think he's. Yeah, I got it. Yeah, I got to put him at. I have to put him at 7.
5 games.
Bro, he's 6-0.
Brock Purdy?
Yes, he's 6-0 as a starter.
You put Brock Purdy in front of your old boy?
I explained the interceptions, and then look, Brock Purdy. How can you not thrive with
Brock
49ers team?
walked off the set.
You gotta thrive with that.
I understand. He is playing pretty good right now.
Healthy
But the
Debo.
playoffs is a whole different type of situation.
You think Kyle Shanahan gonna let him fold? Look what he did with
Kyle
Jimmy
Shanahan
Garoppolo,
kind
though.
of defaulted in the
Who do they
fourth quarter.
play?
Who in those games? Well, his first game he beat Tom. He blew
No.
out Tom.
Oh, they played this. Okay, yeah, they're winning.
Yeah, so I'm saying for the playoffs, you can trust them. I mean, healthy Debo, healthy Christian McCaffrey, healthy George Kittle, Brandon Ayuk's there, and then their defense is OP. So I'm going to trust him heading down the stretch. 6, I'm going to have to put Jalen Hurts here at 6. I think he has everything he needs to get to an NFC Championship with the roster they had. They played good all year, and then they have home field advantage. The road to the Super Bowl is through them. But, I don't know if he can overcome adversity when it matters most because he's always playing with the lead. I want to see him play when he has to trail from behind because his only 2 game-winning drives this year were against the Cardinals and the Colts, and they were the 2 worst teams in the league. One of the 2 worst teams in the league. So I can trust him, but I can't put him any higher than that. Then 5, I got Justin Herbert at 5. He's been dying for an opportunity to play in the playoffs. So I don't think he's going to squander his opportunity, especially right off the bat playing someone you're going to play a lot throughout your career in Trevor Lawrence. He makes the throws that most quarterbacks cannot, so I believe he's going to do the same thing in the playoffs and be very trusted. 4, this was debatable, but I put Tom Brady at 4. I still believe he's the greatest to ever do it. He's 35-12 in the postseason with 7 rings. But if we're being honest, that team wouldn't be in the playoffs if they were in a better division than the NFC South. So the team is it's Tom Brady on the team, but this year's team, or that Bucs team, is not very good. So I can't put Tom Brady higher than 4. 3, I got Josh Allen. Josh Allen has always been a clutch player.
I don't know about that.
At 3?
Yes, he hasn't been clutched.
I mean, I'm saying,
good, but he has been.
I mean, he just got to get over his kryptonite and Patrick Mahomes because he's broken their hearts 2 years back to back. So I think
clutch until he beats him.
Yeah.
He isn't.
It's hard to say that though because it's I don't know how that you don't know how that game could have went if they had a chance last year with that coin toss rule. If they had a chance to get the ball back because it was going back and forth. But now it's different. So now it's
coin toss was fake as shit.
Boy, if they scored a game over.
Yeah.
Well, now it's different this
Niggas
year.
don't gotta play defense no more. It's fuck defense.
What? The coin toss?
Yeah.
That's how they treated it for that game last year. That was one of the best games I ever saw.
That shit was a fire ass game.
But it's
play defense.
if you think back at it, it's what would he have done if he got the ball back at least one more time? He probably would have scored and they probably would have went back and forth. But yeah, I trust him as the third most. Second most is definitely Joe Burrow. He's clutch. He's got the ice in his veins, got the weapons around him, already has the postseason experience under his belt, was basically a drive away from winning the Super Bowl last year. So, and the key thing why I put him at 2, he has Patrick Mahomes' number. He's 3-0 against him, and he beat him in the playoffs last year. But then you already know who's at 1. The baby goat, Patrick Mahomes. Basically had an MVP season this year. He's 8-3 in the playoffs. He's the most trusted guy on my list. But that's my top 10 list.
Where'd you have Trevor Lawrence at?
I didn't have Trevor Lawrence in my top 10.
Wow.
Brock Purdy?
Wow. Wow.
Yes.
Wow.
Especially because that nigga Trevor Lawrence is gonna fucking.
I'm trusting Brock
That's
Purdy.
wild.
You trust Brock Purdy
With Kyle
That's
Shanahan.
over Dak,
wild.
over Kirk, over freaking. Oh my god.
Put one of us in a month with Kyle Shanahan.
Bro, over
I
Trevor
guarantee-
Lawrence?
Yes, over Trevor Lawrence.
Bro, he has Doug Peterson. Doug Peterson won a ring like a few years ago.
With Nick.
Big Nick. Wow. Bro,
I don't got him in my top 10.
Crazy.
I don't got him in my top 10. I can't put him in there because he's going against Justin Herbert. I don't know if he's going to win that game or not. So what is the point?
We're right about that, but it's going to be a damn shootout because the Chargers' defense is suspect.
But you never know.
Their run defense is suspect as hell. They cannot stop the run.
You never know if it
They're
could be a
like
shootout or
us,
not.
stop the run.
All right, so what's your Kurt, you want to go next or you want Rob to go next?
I'll go. We going from 10 to 1.
Yeah.
Yes, sir.
10, I got Dak. Because he's ass. I'm sorry. That's just the way it is. I'm doing that out of spite, too, just because you're a Cowboys fan.
hell. Fuck with you.
But let's see how high you got Lamar. Go ahead. I was telling the truth about my quarterback, so if you gonna act like Lamar Superman or something.
Hey,
No,
let's
he-
relax.
no,
Number 9, I got Baker Mayfield.
What? Baker Mayfield not in.
What?
They not?
He's not in.
Yo, the Rams.
You would put
They're not in. What?
Putting Baker
Even if he was in the
Bro.
Wait, you would put him at 9 if he was in the play. Baker Mayfield's on the Rams.
Niggas had like 3 wins.
Bro, you say you're looking at right now.
The playoff schedule.
Bro, none of his teams made the
Justin
playoffs.
Herbert?
No, I got Justin Herbert on here.
See?
All right, fuck it. We gonna sub him for Geno Smith. There we go. Number 1.
He was about to make
Yo.
my list, but then I thought.
Alright.
Don't count him out. He
I know
kinda
that.
cooking.
That's why I said I was going to,
kinda
but
been cooking.
I was like,
All right. At 8, I got Kirk. 7, got Trevor Lawrence. 6, Jalen Hurts. 5, baby goat Lamar.
that is not a baby goat. Stop saying not no.
No. Yeah.
Who was your quarterback?
Jared Goff, who played better than yours.
I mean, he did play pretty good this year.
If you look at the
Lamar's
stats, he
hurt,
played better than
Lamar
Lamar.
missed half the game. What are you talking about?
Even before he got hurt, he was playing better. They had the number 1 scoring offense in the
I'm talking
NFL.
about the player, the whole offense. I don't care. All right, let me
Didn't they also
finish.
have the number 1 score, the number 1 defense led with the most points in the NFL?
Yeah.
Yeah, but
That's all.
with
All
the
right, so
quarterback,
4, I got Herbert. 3, Tom Brady. 2, Pat Mahomes. Number 1, Josh Allen.
All right. Wait, did you say Joe Burrow on your list?
I don't like
Burrow? What? So y'all get on my list, but there's no
wow, wow.
Joe Burrow. The Super Bowl.
Wow. That's
That's
wild.
Baker.
That's wild. He
Baker
just
was
went
in
to
the playoffs.
That's wild. He was
I
gonna
was just gonna
put
put
Baker
him on
Mayfield
there
in
just
there
because
over
he
Joe
went to a
Burrow.
whole new system, and it was just he's ass. It is. That's why he's at the bottom. He's at the bottom. I throw anybody in there.
He was
under,
talking
like,
shit on
8.
Daniel Jones when he was on the Browns, and look at him now. Look at Baker Mayfield now. Is he doing better?
Baker Mayfield.
I mean, I will say,
but not Joe
he
Burrow.
ain't making much stride, but Sean McVay, at times, Sean McVay,
But I'm just saying, for someone being thrown
That one
in there,
game wasn't even that
he
good.
had that one
He had
game in his career.
that one
He was-
drive. He had that drive. That was
Yes.
That game was poop. But you gotta think about it. You can't just go to a whole new system and just know how everything clicks off the bat.
He probably didn't. He was probably just fucking calling his own plays and shit. Playing backyard football. Because it didn't matter. They were 4-12.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah, that's my
Anyways.
Rob, go ahead.
Go ahead and throw Daniel Jones in there because I know you.
I'm sorry, but I don't think I'm going to.
Oh, I thought you was ready to put him on.
I'm trying to think of who I want to put at 10. He's struggling to make my list. I'm not gonna lie.
I really would have put him higher if he would stop turning over the ball. But like right now, I'm losing patience with him, so like I can't put him higher than 8.
All right.
I couldn't put him higher than 10.
Yeah. So at 10, at 10
You know
we'll throw Dak at 10. I'm sorry.
Okay.
Yeah. Like you said earlier, he led the league in picks and he missed like 5 games, more than 5 games.
Well, I should have said that.
How does that happen?
I should have said that when I said that. But the last 3 weeks, I can't vouch for him. Them interceptions were on him, but like 6 or 7 of them picks is off the wide receiver's hands, and then they end up in interceptions. Like that Jaguars game where he threw to Noah Brown and the ball magically goes up in the air and it was a return for a pick 6. You can't blame Dak for that.
You see, Tom, everyone wanted to get on Daniel Jones' ass when Evan Ingram caused 6 of the interceptions precisely by literally ball hitting him like this in the hands, bouncing off, going right to the defense.
All right, now when your receiver goes like this and you drop it, bro,
That's crazy. Bounce off your hand and go right to the defense.
But that's what
6 times.
That's how Dak's interceptions were leading up, but like the last 3 weeks were on him.
All I'm
He's
saying
trash.
is, no matter what happened, whether
hold
the
on.
receiver dropped it, Dak fucking did it, it doesn't matter. It's a pick. A pick's a pick. In the stat sheet, it's an interception.
They should come up with a rule, I think, if it's the wide receiver's fault, they drop it and he throw the pick. They got something for that.
It's
No.
I don't think that's fair to put it all.
I mean,
it's
it's too much, bro. Like
When
even
analysts
that-
talk about it, it's going to go into that. It's like, if you think about it, the receiver's dropping all his passes are on target, but
yeah.
I mean, so then you look at the stats and
it's
there's
still
an interception. That's why I said that I think they should do something
I
different.
mean, it's kind of like basketball.
If the defense
and they get fouled, don't make the buggy.
If the
They
defense
can make both his free throws. You don't get an assist for that.
Yeah, that's true.
the defense catches the ball when the quarterback throws it, no matter what happens, it's going to be a pick. So, with that in mind, and with the recent 20-plus years of playoff play from the Cowboys, I hate to say it, I don't have much faith in Dak. Who's your first? You play the Bucks. You gotta freaking ride down easy street for your round 1 game.
That ain't no easy game.
You got Tom Brady.
Hey,
That's gonna be a dog fight if we're gonna win the game.
But you have a very good defense.
The defense
Pass
is
rushing
good.
Crazy.
And Tony Pollard.
Their O-line is garbage.
Yeah.
You're going to get in his ass. You're probably
gotta get there.
No,
And if you
my-
don't, and he's sit back there,
if you let him sit and sling it.
Oh yeah, he's gonna.
You
Our
lost.
secondary
Yeah.
already thin.
Yeah.
But I'll say what I'm gonna say later. But yeah, you're right.
Anyways, all right. So coming in at number 9.
Damn, nigga, we only remember
We will
9.
go with. I was crucified.
Damn.
Dak's ass.
God,
Who's
let's
on
go
Dak's
on for like 20
ass?
minutes.
All right,
I thought we were like 5 or something.
All right, so number 9, I'll make it a little quicker then. Number 9, I'll put Kirk. Like you were saying, I don't have faith in him in any primetime scenario whatsoever. He is only good at 1 o'clock games.
He will be in the 4 o'clock
1 p.m.
window.
1 p.m. Kirk is wearing that chain after the game. Any other Kirk is
You saying what?
sitting his ass in the freaking back of the plane, curled up in the field position because he just got his ass whooped. But yeah, Kirk at number 9. Number 8, we will go with Trevor Lawrence at number 8. I'm just putting him there because he doesn't he doesn't have really much experience. That and also his team as a whole is pretty young, so a lot of them are definitely newcomers when it comes to playing in the postseason. Obviously, it's a whole different ball game. So I think they get something cooking against the Chargers for sure. I think that's going to be a shootout, but they got a really great QB at the other side on that team, so we'll see what happens. But number 7, I will go with Jalen Hurts. He's looking good this year. He's definitely been a great leader for that team. I think personally they're one of the most stacked teams all around in the NFL.
Yeah.
So they have a really good shot at winning it all this year. Their road to the Super Bowl, it's not a very daunting one in my opinion. Like he's either playing Dak or he's playing the 8-9 Buccaneers.
Yeah.
And then once they beat them, they're either playing Daniel Jones, Kirk Cousins, Smith.
He said once they beat them.
Once they tap that,
Once in a day. All right.
you're a stepping stone.
All right. I'm sorry. Give me the
He's just a stepping
They either
stone.
play Kirk Cousins, Daniel Jones, Brock Purdy, or Geno Smith.
Oh,
So,
now he said if they win.
All
Why
right.
did you say that at first?
I don't know.
They
Anyways,
definitely violated it.
moving on. All right. So what was that? Number 7?
Yeah, it's got
All right. Number 6. I'll go Justin Herbert at number 6. I've always loved Justin Herbert as a quarterback. Obviously he's really talented physically, and he's just a very smart player. Makes all the big time throws, but it's his first time in the playoffs. So like Trevor Lawrence, and yes, Fred, his team has been battered this year. So we'll see what happens, but I think it's going to be a show between him and Lawrence. Number 5, I will go with Tom Brady at number 5, just because his team is kind of, trash, to say the least. He's got weapons, but he'll be all right, I think. I think he'll get to cooking on y'all, I'm not going to lie.
Oh, he's straight
I'm not
blind.
gonna
I'm not even throwing no shade,
I'm not
though.
going to lie.
That got a chance he get.
Number 4.
He act like he don't got a chance to
Number
go home.
4, we got Lamar Jackson. He's an electric player. All right.
No.
No.
Because
you try to act like that up there or something.
You know he's electric, but are you really going to trust him like this? He
Yes.
got off a knee injury. What is it? What is his bread and butter?
That's true. This is
Running.
true.
Why do you think it took him to come back though?
Right.
But what is he
He's
gonna
under
do?
the radar. That boy is perfectly fine.
So you think he's gonna run reckless coming back from a knee injury?
When does he ever run reckless?
He runs reckless all the time.
When do you ever see him take big hits?
He doesn't take big hits, but he
So
doesn't
how's that?
slide like any quarterback is supposed to, or doesn't run out of bounds when he's supposed to.
Yes, he does. What are you
What are
talking
you-
about?
I should throw this pin at
He
your
does not
forehead.
run out of bounds as often as he should.
Yes,
As
he
should.
does.
No, he does not.
Either that, or he'll get down.
Right.
Not by sliding.
Yeah.
So what he
I mean,
doing?
he'll die.
He's getting tackled.
No, he's not.
Oh my! All right.
All right. Anyway, number 3.
He's gonna say shit about Josh Allen though.
Number 3.
Because Josh Allen is better than Lamar. You know this.
Side flips and shit.
I mean, how big is Josh Allen? Nearly 240? He might be
Nigga, it don't matter how
240.
big you are, nigga. If you keep throwing your body at people, you gonna fucking get hurt.
You gonna feel.
That is a problem with Josh
One
Allen.
of
Rob,
them
who
days,
you got at number 3?
Number 3, Josh Allen.
Rob 3.
I feel like there's not much to be said other than he needs to defeat Patrick Mahomes for me to put him any higher. Number 2, Joey Burrow. Joey B coming in at number 2. He is ice cold, like Tom was saying. He has all the weapons. He's got a better O-line. I think he can make a run. I really do. And number 1, Pat Mahomes. Pretty self-explanatory. He might win it all.
Where'd you put Tom Brady at again?
Number 5.
Number 5. Okay.
My list is pretty similar to Rob's. A couple things flip-flopped here and there. I did roast you about putting Kirk Cousins at number 10, but then when I started to think about it a little bit, and I think this is going to be a primetime game. A lot of people going to be watching this game. You know, niggas start to fold, niggas start to watch.
Yes.
So, and that shit broadcasted nationally. Niggas definitely start to fold. So yeah, I definitely got him at number 10. At number 9, I do have the black Kirk Cousins there.
Nice. I like that.
I could have put the one. I could have took the one with Michael Vick off my list. That's what I put. Michael Vick. No, Jake, you hear this? He said he's better than Michael Vick.
Let's chill.
Running.
Oh, running.
Running.
Get what I say.
We're not
Go
fair.
with you.
I mean, this nigga
Right.
been in the league.
I don't know.
This nigga
Man.
Michael Vick- Right, this nigga been in the league for 5 seasons now. Chill out.
Right.
So Kirk Cousins been in there longer than the black.
You said the
Why
black
is Dak the black Kirk Cousins?
What?
Bro, he just is.
No, Derek.
Colin did a whole segment on his show about it. They did a whole segment about how Dak is the black Kirk
beat the
Cousins.
Detroit Lions this year. Derek Goff.
It doesn't matter. Look at his stats. Look at his stats. Look at them stats. Compare the stats, and you'll see why Dak is
He's
the
not
black
the
Kirk Cousins.
black Kirk
Or
Cousins,
just
yo.
come
All
on,
right, y'all
whatever.
go. Y'all go.
When y'all old team called him the black Kirk Cousins, the black Kirk Cousins.
No, he's not, bro. He's way better than Kirk Cousins.
Let's go. Let's go. Let's go.
That's like me saying Lamar Jackson is barely better than Justin Fields.
No, it's not.
Yes, it
No,
It's
it's
not.
not. It's not.
yes, it is.
No,
How
you
can I-
took Justin Fields has not had like. I mean, this year he kind of broke out rushing wise, but he's still not there passing wise at all.
Nope.
At all. And his team has been trashed every year.
Yeah.
And he had no chance. His
Yeah.
best receiver was fucking what was it? I can't remember.
Darnell Mooney?
Yeah.
Was their best receiver?
Darnell
Yeah,
Mooney.
I drafted him.
But no, I received Darnell Mooney is better than any receiver we've had on the fucking
Facts. But that's all he had. Who else he had?
right. So that's more testament to Lamar Jackson. Darnell Mooney way fucking receiver we ever had. And that nigga
Even
Lamar
better than
Jackson-
Rashad Bateman?
Well, Rashad, this is the second season in the league, and this nigga he's
Yeah.
missed like
He's better.
all of it.
And he had
He's
He hasn't
injury
even
prone.
played yet.
Mooney's definitely.
Yes, yeah.
Bateman had potential to like be
Niggas said had because that nigga did or something. Nigga like retired or something. It's only his second season.
We gonna have to
I
see.
do think he can be better than Darnell Mooney.
Yes.
I guess we'll see when he's healthy.
Okay, go ahead.
All right, so what you at, 8?
7.
My 8.
You got 7.
No, you're.
No, yeah, I'm at 8. I'm at 8. 8. I would throw Trevor Lawrence at 8. 7. I'm gonna put Justin Herbert at 7. Simply because I feel like Justin Herbert might be like. I feel like he a garbage that quick QB. I kind of thought him the same way I thought of Dak Prescott is like a garbage that QB because he definitely was. The same way Matthew Stafford was, because Matthew Stafford was a garbage time QB back when he was on Lions. No offense.
Y'all lose this game.
He was.
Nigga, if you lose this
I'll
game,
admit
I'm
that.
on your ass, nigga, because you're playing the Bucks, nigga.
What's that supposed to mean? It's Tom Brady.
They're 8-9.
You're playing Kirk Cousins, so if y'all beat
Bro,
Kirk...
We're playing actual Super Bowl contenders this week. What are you talking
So,
about?
right. So Tom Brady in the playoffs is massively not a Super Bowl
stop it,
contender.
stop it,
So
stop it.
Justin
Stop.
Jefferson
His team-
wasn't
he's
part of
not
the best
Super Bowl
receiver.
He is.
He is,
This
but
one
it's
person
his
will not
team.
make
So Mike Evans don't know what to
This
do about
nigga
that?
can't catch the ball, and he
Chris
can't
Godwin?
run that bitch either. So I
Chris
don't
Godwin?
know what
Playoff
That's-
Leonard Fournette, like you
That's
said before.
cool if niggas can block, but niggas haven't, especially run blocking, niggas haven't done that all season. So,
He sure have it.
Some games they have, but in some games they haven't.
For what, the Bucks?
Yeah, I had Leonard Fournette. No, I had Leonard Fournette in fantasy.
Bro,
and
he had
got me
good,
those
right?
yards. He's got me those yards.
He had like 2 games where he's over 100 yards.
No, he's had more than that.
Bro, I swear, at least 70% of his games were like a stat line like 15 carries for 37 yards and 8 receptions for like 65 yards and a touchdown. That's how he'll get his points, is catching the ball out of that.
He not lying.
them little dump
I
offs.
mean, them screens, because that's always been Tom Brady, no matter what system he's in, to do screen plays.
It was ridiculous. I traded his ass in one of my leagues. I'm not gonna lie, just because of that.
All right. He was solid, but not really.
Also, because this is the first time Justin Herbert has been in the playoffs. So.
Okay.
Right.
But you didn't have to do that garbage stat out there.
I never said he was garbage.
No, I'm talking about, like, I know what you mean stat-wise, like piling up stats when it don't matter.
Right. He had to compare him to someone,
Right.
you know? And he was just on the topic right there.
Who runs the zigzags, but
Who bopping out their shoes, but
Right.
no zigzags.
What am I at? Am I at 6 right now?
Yeah, 6 now.
I will put my man Lamar Jackson. Unfortunately, he hasn't had the best season. Also, coming off of an injury, plus the not having reliable wide receivers kind of hurts him really badly. Well, offensive coordinator is not the best either. But on to number 5, we have my man Brady. Simply because it is Brady, I trust Brady. I don't really trust his team. I don't trust his O-line. So, in the fact that I do trust Brady, I'm putting him at 5. 4, my man's Hurts. Because of that team that he has, I think if he can play within himself, go playoff, they can make a good run. 3, I'm gonna put Joey B. 2 is Josh Allen, and number 1 is Mahomes.
At least one Ravens fan put Joe Burrow on the list.
I didn't have to.
It is his list.
I know it's
It's his
All
list.
right.
You just have Baker there.
Listen,
The Hobbit.
No, that was funny, yo. That was probably the funny.
misread the schedule. Thought it was the Rams.
The Rams were by far the worst teams.
All right, Jake, what's your top 10 list? Watching Dak Prescott. Get ready.
All right. Yeah, I'm gonna have to go Black Kirk Cousins at number 10.
Disrespectful. I just want y'all to know that Dak Prescott show up in the
Listen.
playoffs. Ain't gonna be no more Black Kirk Cousins. No more. It will not be.
It's if the Cowboys can't run the football, Dak's not successful. If they can't get Tony Pollard, Ezekiel Elliott, he balances off of their running game. If they're not running the football, if they're getting 1-2 yards a carry, he's got to do more. He's not going to be capable of doing that much more.
Well, I think he can do
in my
more.
opinion.
It's just like the defense is honest because if you're not running the ball effectively, and then you only have last year, for instance, like when we didn't run the ball, it's like, all right, Amari Cooper. You double team Amari Cooper, and then CeeDee Lamb was basically a baby in these prime moments. He didn't have a catch. Now, I do believe. At first, the first couple of weeks, I was thinking, like, is he number 1? But after this year, I probably say he's number 1. But, yeah. But
He's a damn man.
y'all gonna see Dak, man. Y'all gonna see.
All right, number 9, we're going to go real Kirk Cousins.
Oh, I was gonna
Like
say. I was
everybody
about
else
to
said. Like everybody else said, unless it's 1 o'clock, you really can't trust him. He hasn't really proven otherwise. All his games, 1 score. I'm not going to trust him. 8, I'm going to go Lamar. Hasn't had the best season. Doesn't have wide receivers. Coming off an injury. Hasn't practiced in over a month. I just think even if he does play, he might struggle for a half. I think that's going to set him back. So I'll put Lamar at 8. 7, I'm going to go Trevor Lawrence. I know it's his first playoff game, but he's got weapons around him. Marvin Jones, Zay Jones, Evan Ingram hasn't been bad for him, but
because he's not wearing a Giants uniform. That's why.
And then he said, "Hey, get out of New York."
I'm not gonna lie, they probably would misuse him, bro. Think about it. We had Jason Garrett. Like,
Yeah. I mean, do I have to say any more?
Number 6, I'm gonna put Hurts at 6. First playoff game. He does have weapons galore. He's got Miles Sanders, A.J. Brown, all of them. I think he can make a deep run, but he has his playoff experience has yet to be proven. 5, I'm going to go Tom Brady just because it's Tom Brady. There's not much more to say about that. I don't trust his team, but I do trust Tom. 4, I'm going to go Herbert. Herbert, he's solid. I mean, he's a guy. He's gonna sling it around. He's gonna win some games for you. 3, I'm gonna go Josh Allen. Like everybody else said, he's got to beat Patrick Mahomes in the playoffs, but otherwise, he's pretty damn great. 2, I'm gonna go Patrick Mahomes, and I'll tell you why. But Patrick Mahomes is, I mean, he's the baby goat, like Tom said. He just wins. The real baby goat. He just wins. And the reason why I put Patrick Mahomes at 2 is because, 1, I'm going to put Joe Burrow because Patrick Mahomes has not beaten Joe Burrow. He struggles against Joe Burrow. I think it's a neutral site game if they play in the AFC Championship game. If Cincinnati beats Buffalo, I think it's a neutral site game. That's going to help them. I just think that the reason I didn't flip flop to 2 is because I saw Patrick Mahomes choke away in the AFC Championship game last year against Joe Burrow. So, plus Joe Burrow's got a complete team: T. Higgins, Jamar Chase, Joe Mixon. He's got it all. I like Joe Burrow as the best quarterback.
Since because I said that he has Patrick Mahomes' number, and then like Jake said, they were up like what 20-3 at halftime, and they.
Yeah.
And then you had Eli Apple thinking he was. How that play out for him?
Is he even on the team?
Oh, he's still there.
Yeah, he's there.
Oh, yeah, they re-signed him to like a 1-year deal.
Yeah. Probably not talking as much as he did last year, but yeah. So I think we all had a pretty good list. I was kind of crucified for having Brock Purdy on there, but I think I really think, he's going to show up for him. I really think he's going to make the throw.
You had Brock Purdy over Trevor Lawrence, bro.
Because I'm gonna talk about when we talk about the games. Was like I wanted to put him on there, but I can't put him on there. But we'll see.
I think San Francisco wins the NFC. That's just my
they
opinion.
do. Like I said, they have a pretty easy road.
Their defense is ridiculous. They have weapons galore. If Purdy just has to play, if he doesn't turn the ball over,
That's why I put him.
I think they're vulnerable though, just because Purdy's there. I have a fucking feeling they're just gonna fold.
Is Jimmy G gonna come back if it's the NFC Championship game?
If you got him,
if they make it,
I wouldn't even risk it.
Yeah.
I would just sling it.
Yeah.
Yo, speaking of that, before we go on, yo, what do y'all think? Jake asked me this. Jake talked about it earlier in the week. What do you think they do with Trey Lance after this season?
I don't know.
Brock Purdy.
He was a top 5 pick, wasn't he?
They gave up. They
But
gave
Brock
up so much to move up to get
Mr. Irrelevant, the last pick in this year's draft, and then you see what he's doing this year. So it's like, what do you do if he goes far? Do you keep Lance, or what do you do with it?
I mean, they'll probably
Let him go. Yeah.
I mean, they gave up so much. I can't.
They get the NFC Championship. Might as well get your walking pick. Yeah, that's what I mean. Like trade. Yeah, I don't know if they get a month, maybe like a third or a fourth.
They definitely won't get nearly what they gave up to get.
Yeah, because nobody's giving up a second.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, shit. I feel like a very quarterback needy team, like the Colts, for example, would like
the Panthers would jump on. They would jump on Trey Lance.
Panthers would, Colts would, Raiders
Commanders would give up a second round.
Oh yeah. Give up the third round pick.
Commanders,
Carson Wentz, so they'll give up the damn second round pick.
Yeah.
They more than that. It was like a third and
something else.
Like a 6th or a 5th round, I think.
The Ravens might need a quarterback.
Yo, Kurt's sick, yo. All right.
Ew.
All right, so moving on to the final segment, we're going to talk about our wild card weekend game predictions. So we're going to start off with the first game, 49ers versus Seahawks. Who do you guys think wins that game?
Niners.
I'm going to upset. I'm going Seahawks.
This nigga's
You think it's
I
wrong,
think
though?
Gino would be on
3 points precisely. Like there, Gino's stat line is gonna be like 15 for 35 with like 100.
Yeah, he's.
You think they can beat them on the road, though?
Bro,
The Seahawks?
I don't think they can. But, like, I just feel like some finesse is going to happen. Geno Smith being here,
You might find a touchdown.
he's going to show out.
You think he's-
They're going to go line and throw it to his chest.
Who'd you say, Jake? You got the 49ers?
See a solid one.
All right.
Interception.
Yeah, Niners.
So why can't I see that stat line?
Right.
I can actually see that unfolding, and then we're just like, well, Geno Smith. And...
140 yards, 1 touchdown, 3 interceptions.
All right, I got the 49ers. I got the 49ers too because it's like when you think about it healthy, they're gonna be like the hardest team to beat in the NFC. And it's like the 49ers, like the last time they played them a few weeks ago, it's like they shut down the running game, and then it was like basically, all right, Geno Smith, you show us you can beat us. He didn't do that. And then now that they're like fully healthy, especially on defense, also they're gonna harass him. They're gonna sack him a lot. I think he's gonna turn over the ball a lot. If I see a stat line, 15 for 35, 140 passing, touchdown, 3 interceptions, I'm just gonna think back. Yeah, I gotta go with the 49ers. I don't see anything.
You know, definitely about to answer that call after the niggas called. You go answer.
All right, Jaguars versus Chargers. This is gonna be a good. That's gonna be a good game.
Real shit.
The Chargers.
Chargers.
I'm solid.
Yeah. Just because Justin Herbert, I think they have more weapons. Keenan Allen, Mike Williams. They said he's going to play. Joey Bosa, Khalil Mack off the edge. That's going to be a problem for Trevor Lawrence. I think they'll squeak it out, but I got
That's gonna be a good
Definitely
game.
Chargers.
You got the Chargers.
I got the Chargers.
Yeah. Who'd you say, Fred?
I said the Jags.
You got the
I
Jaguars.
like the way the Jags been playing football. Like the whole
They've been
team.
hot.
They've
been hot.
been real hot. So I like them as a team to beat. Not as not for no Super Bowl potential, but
Yeah.
this week it might be a scary team to play this week.
Yeah, I mean, I definitely can see the Jags winning, like just because they, it's all about how hot you are going into the playoffs.
Mm-hmm.
But I'm still gonna go with the Chargers, but in a very, very close game. Like,
yeah, that'll probably be
I
the
can
best
see
game
it
of the
being
weekend.
like 35-32 the Chargers.
I definitely see it going down to like a game winning drive.
Yeah,
Yeah, I do too.
2-minute drill.
Yeah.
But I'm gonna go with the Chargers.
I'm gonna go with the Chargers just because Herbert has been waiting forever to play in a playoff game. I don't think he's gonna fold in his first one. I think he's the Jaguars defense because they were ranked 27th against the pass. So I think he's gonna pick apart their defense and get revenge for when they. Do you guys remember when they played the first time and the Jaguars actually blew them out? Yeah, I think Herbert didn't forget about that, so I think he's gonna.
Beginning of the season?
Yeah, that was like the very beginning, but I don't think Herbert's gonna forget about that. And then, like Jake said, they have like Joey Bosa and Khalil Mack there. They've hardly been there together throughout the year, so I think that's gonna cause a lot of pressure on Trevor Lawrence. Let's see, next game. I think we're all gonna have the same answer for this one: Bills versus Dolphins.
Bills. But it might be close to a
Skylar
point.
Thompson?
Might be closer than they think.
Aren't they playing Skylar Thompson?
Huh? I don't know. They haven't said anything. I said if Tua plays, it might be close.
It don't matter.
Okay,
but
but
Teddy, isn't it Skylar? Teddy, they both.
But what if they play Tua? I don't think they can. I think it's too much going on with injuries and how people should be treated. If it were me, I don't think I would put him back.
I wouldn't put him back on.
How long has he been out? 2 weeks?
What, 3 concussions?
3 weeks?
Yeah,
No, this is
Two?
two second.
Oh,
Yeah.
two.
Oh, no, they call that first one
Two.
a spinal injury. Where the nigga smacked
Oh,
his
I guess
ball
so.
Daisy.
The Bengals, they called that?
No, that
Or
was
they didn't say that was
Was it the
Oh, the Bills. The Bills,
Yeah,
No,
right?
the Bills.
Okay.
Yeah, they called it some like back contusion or some shit like that.
Oh, yeah, and then he went out there.
Yeah.
I think they're just going to sit him for the rest of the year just to be cautious. But really, I would pick the Bills no matter who the quarterback is for the Dolphins because they're going to be in Buffalo. I think they're going to use DeMar Hamlin as extra motivation like they did last week against the Patriots. So they're definitely they're going to be hot out there in Buffalo. The fans is going to be jumping out there. So I definitely don't see the Bills losing that game. I think they're going to outplay the Dolphins offensively, defensively, and then you get their special teams in there because Hines just had two
busting them jumps.
good run back-to-back kickoff returns. So I think they're going to play better than all three phases of the game. So I got the Bills too.
Bro, they got the best fan base, I feel like.
They do.
They do. Yeah,
No,
the Bills fan base
they
is
was
great.
throwing
Snowballs.
yeah, they was throwing snowballs.
Bills Mafia.
Yeah.
And then, like, anytime, like, something, like, say another team beats the team that they needed, like, years ago, I ain't trying to throw shade like y'all was, but I'm saying when the Bengals beat the Ravens that one year and then the Bills got in the playoffs, I forgot how much they gave the Bengals for knocking y'all off in that game so they could get in. But, like, they always do a good job donating things and stuff like that, and then the crowd is always going to judge.
But also, when they knocked us out in the playoffs, when Lamar got hurt.
Oh, yeah.
They donated some shit.
Yeah, they did donate to Lamar, yeah. Yeah, so I think they do have one of the best fan bases. All right, Rob, Giants versus Vikings.
Giants.
Vikings.
I'm picking my team
you got two.
because it might be a little biased, yes, obviously. But I really do think we have a shot at beating them. Like, I mean, we almost did. It came down to a last-second 63-yard field goal.
That was a good game.
That
Played,
is
yeah.
apparently kicks over 60 yards are our kryptonite, if you didn't know. Because the last three over the last 5 years.
Oh, shut up, Rob. The Lions have that. The Lions have that. Justin Tucker ruined
Bro,
our
we had a
Vikings
66 on the Bengals.
Three!
I-
Bro. Graham
Yeah.
Gano when he was on the Panthers.
It's a show.
Jake Elliott when he was on the Eagles. And then the dude on the Vikings. Like, 3 for 3.
Yeah, but I still think, but 66
And like
yards.
the way,
man,
the
that
way we
was
got up there
fucking
too,
terrible.
that shit was cheesy.
Yeah,
Y'all should have got a flag for that.
Too late.
yeah,
No,
yeah. You should have
no,
got
Too
flagged.
late now.
It was a late game day.
It was over. Too late. Game over. We out here setting records, nigga.
Yeah,
Nah. On the real, though, I think we can beat them because, for one, Kirk, I feel like he's in the fold. And for two, we're getting some pieces back in secondary that we didn't have at all last time we played them. Like, we had Fabian Moreau as cornerback one. Fabian Moreau. You heard it right.
I don't know.
That. You heard it correctly. Fabian Moreau was our number one corner that week. So we should have Adoree back. Xavier McKinney's back now. He should be in full swing by the time we play tomorrow. We got pretty much all our D-lines healthy now, I'm pretty sure, with the exception of Aziz. I don't think he's healthy yet. But, yeah, I think we can win the game, especially with, making the playoffs and, the camaraderie of the team right now. I just feel like Dable's going to just, lead them to victory. I just can see it happen. Like he's done time and time again.
What you think? Go ahead, Jake. Go ahead, Jake.
I got. It's gonna be close. It's gonna be close. I'm gonna go, but the Vikings in one-score games have been virtually unstoppable this year. I just think their skill players are a lot better than what the Giants have. I think it'll be close, but Vikings at home, I think they'll squeak it out.
All right. Fred?
Yeah, I ain't gonna lie to you. Kirk Cousins might be skeptical in prime time. So is Daniel Jones.
Yeah.
Oh, you talk about the black Kirk. What about the clone version of Kirk Cousins? Daniel Jones is 1-9 in prime time.
Hey, man.
Yeah,
Type of
that's
QB, though.
prime time.
Dak and Kirk are basically the same quarterback. Daniel Jones runs the ball. Kirk does not.
Yeah.
Daniel has
He
legs.
might get out the pocket a little bit.
Dak don't got legs like
He ain't going nowhere.
Oh, he used that. I would say
he's
he
never
used
had.
that.
Let's be real. He's never had.
I mean, not mobile legs, but he can make plays. But now he doesn't really run much.
He can run something.
Daniel Jones ain't no.
Well, he used to run a lot of read options and stuff, but not like a Speedy Gonzalez.
Jones ain't no Lamar or Justin Fields when it comes to like electric playmaking with his feet, but he can get loose.
Yeah,
Boy can get loose, man. He can run on you. Like he was running all over the Vikings when we played him.
Yeah.
Last time we played him. Yeah. He was going toe to toe with that man, Kirk. 1 p.m. Kirk at that, right? Wasn't that 1 p.m.?
that was a 1 p.
Yeah. It was Kirk Thuggins with the chain too. He was going toe to toe with him.
So who you going with?
Don't go with the Vikings.
Yeah.
Just go with the Vikings.
Yeah, I'm gonna slide with the Vikings. Only because like the guys surrounding Daniel Jones and the guys surrounding Kirk Cousins.
Yeah, I mean it's definitely valid. We have no one at receiver at all.
Man,
Probably worse off than.
I wish I could go with y'all and say the Vikings and crucify Rob, but like I really feel like they're on upset alert big time. So I'm gonna go with the Giants. I really feel like the Giants can knock them off because how close how competitive I seen in the first game, and it was in Minnesota. It's gonna be in Minnesota again, but I just can't trust Kirk Cousins. Definitely, it's gonna be a 4 o'clock game, not the 1 o'clock game. Maybe if it was a 1 o'clock game, I'd trust him, but
Yeah, it's
no.
4:30.
This is the 4:30 game in the midst of a Sunday afternoon. But looking at it, though, the Vikings have 2 offensive linemen on IR. If y'all can have some success pass rushing, I think that gives y'all a real chance to win. But I'm picking y'all because the Kirk Cousins situation. But if y'all can get a lot of production from Daniel Jones and Saquon Barkley against their suspect defense, I think y'all really do have a shot. Y'all just got to come up with big-time stops. If y'all do that and create turnovers, I think y'all win. But I'm going to pick the Giants to win that game.
I need that man Kayvon to have a game like he did against Washington the second time.
That was one of the best.
I was
for edge rusher.
I was at that game.
I know you seen that call that should have been called that pass interference play.
Oh, not that actually I didn't see that live because I was walking. Me and Ant were walking to the car when that happened.
Oh yeah, because that was seen clear day after that play. I said, "Oh man."
I mean, real shit. They got away with some shit too, like in that game and the game prior. So that was crazy.
Yeah,
I mean,
you can see the whole camera caught that pass interference, but that was a good game. So you did pick a good game to go to.
it was lit, for sure.
All right, Bengals versus Ravens.
I'm taking the Ravens.
All right.
Why?
Cause why not?
Say biased. I was about to say an unbiased opinion.
Well, bro. Okay, I'm gonna say it like this: if Lamar's playing, I'm taking the Ravens. But if he's not playing, then like we gotta play. I mean, yeah. If Lamar's playing, I'll take the Ravens. But if he's not, the Bengals.
Yeah, I was gonna say Tyler Huntley's not going toe to toe with Joey B. So,
And if he did,
sorry.
don't think that he couldn't, because he possibly could. He's not that trash.
Wait, who? Huntley?
He's not bad.
He's not bad.
No, stop it. This nigga Huntley is fucking ass, bro. How the nigga say ass? This nigga is not good.
Oh,
You're
the only Raven. Hey, the Ravens.
He's an undrafted backup.
That's
Hey,
what
the
I'm saying. For what he is,
The Ravens community will be standing up for him last
so
year.
you telling me?
That's all we had.
Yeah, they would.
But what? That was
He's better than a lot of backups though.
100%.
Like,
yeah, a lot of them.
Yeah,
That's a backup.
a lot of backups he's probably better than.
over your boy.
What do you mean? Right.
Rush.
Oh, this
Tips
nigga
He was
guy,
solid,
Cooper
but-
Rush.
If you put the right pieces around Huntley, I think I'd rather have Huntley over Cooper.
This nigga Huntley cannot throw the ball, bro. There's nothing, bro. There's nothing on this ball, bro. It might be accurate, but it's gonna take like 15 seconds to get over there. There's nothing.
But you gotta take him
as soon as this nigga says height, he'll look at his first receiver. He not open. I'm out of there, bro. Every time, bro. There's so many times that Mark Andrews be able to late route coming open. I'm not looking there, bro. I'm already running. And then nigga go head up with a fucking safety or a linebacker.
But you gotta think about it. He's taught in that offense with Greg Roman.
That's another problem that we have.
Greg Roman be teaching them. Well, I'm not saying Lamar does that every time, but I'm saying Huntley's probably got in the back of his head, all right, one read's not there, I'm going to just take off. Greg Roman might be in his headset, all right, one read direction, take off. You never know.
And then
all right, so my prediction, sorry, Fred and Kurt, but I just don't see it happening this year.
Bro, hold on, time out. If you look, you can look at this right now. If you look at Joey B's games against us, he has not had good games. The last game he had was not a good game. First game that he had last year, we had.
What?
Yo, hold on. Yo.
Last year, the first game they were here.
We had McDonald's guarding Jamar Chase. What are you saying?
Fred, the first game at the bank.
There was other people. On the other side, we had Kevin Seymour guarding Tyler Boyd. Bro, what are you saying right now?
All right, so
our secondary has some fucking practice squad players similar to that nature right now. So I feel your pain.
What month was that? October? I think that was October.
Literally like 550 yards that day.
So receivers. Yeah, I see niggas that are guarding.
Exactly, that's what I'm saying.
So that one game that Rob was talking about, not the second, because the second game I don't care who was out there. He was.
It was even worse because Marlon wasn't even out there. The second game.
I know the second game. The first game.
He had no safeties, no corners.
The
he had
first
Chuck
game
Clark out there. That nigga can't guard anybody. He can stop the run. He can't guard shit. And then we had fucking Chino out there. That nigga can't run to save his life.
Yo, the 2 games last year he played against y'all.
And I'm talking about this year. This nigga talking about last year.
I thought you were talking about last year. All right.
Nigga, you don't even talking about from last year, nigga.
All right.
This year, if you look at the stats, he did not have a good game against us. We held him to 13 points the first game. And if we didn't give them the ball on our own 30-yard line fucking 4 times last game, it would have been a completely different game.
So, in this game, when y'all did win that game, it took a game-winning field goal, though.
The last,
go ahead, Rob.
Since y'all have gotten Roquan Smith, though, I will say your defense is not very good.
That was.
But look at the strength of schedule too.
Can't control.
Since they look at the strength of schedule,
the
since
cupcake
they got
schedule?
Roquan. Yes. But I mean, I'm just being honest here. Like, I'm being honest. Like, who have they played the Panthers, Falcons, Pittsburgh twice, Cleveland. I mean Pittsburgh and Cleveland are division games, but other than that,
now they're currently in the playoffs and are trending upwards.
Hey, Daniel Jones.
And then they like.
too.
But yeah, wait, you see the first game we played?
Yeah, I got it right here.
What's this?
All right, so y'all did strap him up 24 for 35, 217 passing yards, 1 touchdown, 1 interception.
All right, go look at the next game we played them.
All right.
We didn't even have Roquan this game.
Week 18 right here. So last week, at my slow ass computer, oh, there we go. So y'all had. Oh, wait a minute. Hold on. They kind of strapped him last week, though.
So I'm saying
25 for 42, 215 passing yards, only 1 touchdown. He had a QBR of 23.5.
Right. Had this nigga in a box.
Oh, that's kind of
if Lamar would have played and we didn't give them the ball on the 30-yard line every single drive, like literally for like 4 drives straight, they got the ball on our own 30-yard line, and they just walked in. I got like 3 field goals off that shit.
True.
Like,
all right. Well, I'm a little more convinced now. All right. So it'll definitely be a close game.
That's what I'm saying.
If Lamar plays, it could go either way. It definitely could.
can't get over that.
But
Burrow.
if Tyler Huntley plays,
Yeah, got that nigga on a box.
there's no shot.
No,
There's
no
zero.
shot.
There's zero chance that you win that game. So, but yeah, that's,
You know that.
that's my
You
take.
thought that nigga was gonna fry.
I ain't
something.
watch. I
You
ain't
thought
watch.
nigga was gonna fry something.
Bro,
like that
why
last
am
year.
I gonna watch?
Niggas was hype
Why?
as shit last year. We had nobody guarding these dog ass niggas.
Why am I
We
gonna-
finally got somebody?
Why am I gonna watch Anthony Brown bro week 18?
Yeah,
I didn't watch.
I didn't watch
Yeah, I
any
didn't really
games.
watch it.
So therefore, I ain't
They're all
look.
trash.
What I'm
But
saying, niggas trying to fry because last year had nobody guarding. I mean, we had Marlon, but on the other side, literally, even if you watch all the games this year, they didn't throw. They just threw to the other side. Even when Marcus
yeah,
Peters,
I will say Marley.
they don't throw the Marlon side. They
I'm
just
not-
pick on the other fucking corner.
I remember we was getting on y'all about that Tua comeback, but I saw the stat because obviously Marlon Humphrey went to the Pro Bowl.
And Jake, weren't you eating dick saying Marlon wasn't nice?
Oh.
Yeah, weren't you eating dick in the beginning of the season
Huh?
saying Marlon wasn't nice?
he's a good
Let's go
corner.
Tampa.
He's not
He had
great.
0 touchdowns allowed this year. Yes, 0.
Yeah,
Really?
I was just about to say that he didn't allow a
He not
touchdown
what?
this year. He did. Oh,
You know what?
He's good. He's good. He's a good corner. I'll give you that. He's a good corner. I wouldn't put him over Surtain or Ramsey, but that's just me.
Well, I never say he was the best corner in the fucking league. I'm just saying, put some respect on my man's name.
where'd Kirk go at?
That's a bathroom.
Oh,
Nigga, top 5. Stop playing with him.
so you got the Ravens if Lamar plays.
The Ravens, that's what Mark
All right.
Yes, I do.
Jake, what you got?
We'll go Cincinnati. It will be close. It's a divisional game, third time around. But even if Lamar plays, I really think at least he's going to struggle for a quarter, just because he hasn't practiced, he hasn't played in a game. It'll at least be a quarter before he gets right. I'm thinking probably a half. I just think it's going to be a little too much. You see teams that are just off a bye that will struggle in the playoffs consistently. Aaron Rodgers has done it. Teams have done it where they get bounced off the week of rest. I just think it's going to hurt Lamar. I don't think he'll be fully right, but I do think it'll be close. It'll probably be more of a defensive game, but I'm going to go with the Bengals to win.
I'm going to go Bengals too. Based off of what you just showed me, it's not going to be easy because I didn't know that happened. And like Rob said, Roquan Smith does have a factor. He is a factor with y'all defensively. So
We were like 16 tackles yesterday. Or not last Sunday.
He is very.
he is really good. So
Nigga,
what I just seen from
he
that
had like 5 games.
in a QBR of Joe Burrow of 23.5, that's gonna be a close game. But I'm gonna go with Bengals because they are red hot. That they are on an 8-game win streak. Like Jake said, I don't know what to expect from Lamar if he plays because earlier I said he missed over 14 practices and he did miss 5 games. And it's not going to be easy for him to adjust to the level that he's used to playing at because the injury is a knee injury. So I don't know if he's going to be able to be capable of doing the things that he's comfortable with doing. With that said, I'm going to go ahead with the Bengals. But if I see Anthony Brown out there or Tyler Huntley,
If that happens,
I
all
wish
this
you the
shit,
best
all that shit
watching
done.
that game.
If all that happened,
Because I'd be mad too. I really would be mad too. What Vincent? Oh no, that was Kurt. Where you at? Kurt outside.
Kurt might be taking a.
Oh no, yeah, I think he's. Yeah, I don't know what that is.
All
I
right,
guess he's in the bathroom or something.
No, he ain't in the back. Let out.
Upstairs, outside. I don't know what he's doing.
last game with the Monday night game, Bucks versus Cowboys. I might have a heart attack watching this, but what's y'all predictions?
Nah, this nigga's
Bucks.
They just watched Dallas lose.
I'm not. I'm
He
not violating.
It is
It's
Tom Brady in the
playoffs.
playoffs. It is. I will say it is Tom Brady.
Their defense has weapons. It's finally getting healthy. I know their offensive line is absolute garbage. So that's
I'm never defending that man ever again. If he sells,
Did he like throw a pick to second?
So I do say one thing though: if the Cowboys get the running game going, they'll probably win that football game. But if they can't, if they're struggling, Dak's got to pick up the slack. I don't think he's going to be able to do it. I'm sorry, Tom.
I think he can if you rely on him. It depends on if he can make the right reads, because obviously he's seeing ghosts out there. The way he's reading like some of the interceptions, like who got that pick six last week? Kendall Fuller. He basically threw 2 back-to-back pick sixes to him. He just dropped the first one, then he actually caught the next play and returned it. It's like he's got to do it better. He's never done that through here. It's like you all say the black Kirk Cousins, but when I see these interceptions, it's the black Tony Romo. When I see it, the field. So he's definitely got to do better than that. But
I sure miss him playing for y'all.
I mean, he had his moments where he could shine, but I don't overall miss Tony Romo.
When it came down to it, Eli was the man over Tony Romo.
That's because we had Jason Garrett for a decade. But Rob, who you got?
Manning got 2 rings.
I keep talking about that, though.
All right. What? What are you saying?
Who you got? Bucks or Cowboys?
As much as I hate to fucking say it, I think y'all win in like a close game. It's gonna be an ugly game. I don't think either quarterback is gonna have a particularly great game. I feel like it's gonna be more of a defensive game. I could see it being like,
Are you alright?
16-13 or something.
16-13.
Cowboys.
13-10.
Whoa,
Something
Kurt
like
Wild
that.
with that comment. Tom Brady. That was
He was, bro. He was, bro.
Fred, who you got in this game?
I do have the Cowboys winning, and I think it is by like I don't know close. I feel like I got like 7, maybe 10 points. Like
That'd be great. That'd be great for.
I don't think Tom's team is there to compete with anybody at a higher level.
Yeah.
So yeah, I think y'all do walk out of this game with a victory.
Hopefully. Kurt, who you got? Bucks or Cowboys?
Oh, the Cowgirls.
He said the Cowgirls. Yeah. I could have said the Bengals or the Raisins.
You think you funny? Actually, now that you just said that, I see y'all losing. I see Mr. Tom Brady going for 400 on you for real.
Damn. Bold. I mean, Tom Brady has thrown for.
No. Now that you know that's a problem.
Okay, speaking realistically, I see Tom Brady real live throwing for like 300 to 280 yards on you, and then winning like 27 to like. I'm gonna give y'all 17.
That's a
That's a 10-point deficit.
That's a nice deficit right there.
Mm-hmm.
That's a nice.
That's a big L for Tom.
That sounds like victory formation for Tom Brady, right there.
Yeah.
Sound like a knee is being taken.
That's wild.
Watch it happen too. Watch it happen.
If it happens, I ain't watching football. If what you said happened, if we go out like that, I ain't watching it the rest of the way. I think it could go both ways, though. I'm not going to be really shocked if we lose this game. I think I'll just be more hurt about it. I'm very pissed off. But I'm going to go with Cowboys. I think the reason why I'm going with them, I know it is Tom Brady, but I think Mike McCarthy on the other end is going to have them fired up, because I think if we go 12-5 again, lose a wild card game back-to-back years, there's no way that he's going to keep a job. So I think he knows in the back.
Hey, wait. They kept Jason Garrett after all them years.
Jason Garrett, but we have not had the rosters that we have had with Jason Garrett over the last 2 years that we have with McCarthy. So if you blow 2 wild card appearances after going 12-5 back-to-back years and you lose this one, I think he should have been fired last year. The way how they ended the game, not trying to snap. He called a quarterback sneak. Rob talks about the Giants doing that. They called a quarterback draw with no timeouts with 20 seconds to go. Who calls that? I still can't even get over that. They called that, and then they couldn't even get the ball spiked. So I think he's gonna be coaching for his job. But I think the reason why we're gonna win this game, like y'all said, if they can get the running game going. I think they will get the running games going back and forth with Zeke and Pollard. But their offensive line is very suspect. I think the pass rush for the Cowboys has been taking the last 2 games off, which they need to wake up. I think Micah Parsons is going to make some plays. DeMarcus Lawrence is going to make some plays. The whole D-line, I think, is going to make some plays. Make Tom Brady uncomfortable. He might throw some interceptions along the way, maybe just 1 or 2. But I like our chances winning this game. Now, moving forward, if we want to compete with anybody else, Dak got to fix a lot of problems. But I think we'll be safe after this weekend. But if not, I'm not backing up Dak Prescott no more because it's gonna be, if we lose, it's gonna be on him. I'm just gonna be fed up. So keep that same talk. Keep that. I like that, Kurt. Because if the Ravens lose, then what?
It is what it is.
I know. I ain't know it is what it is.
We're going against Super Bowl contenders.
It's Tom Brady. He had,
Bro, the niggas had 8 wins.
what's that supposed to mean?
They were
done.
500 in a crap.
I said that he's lucky to be in the NFC South, or he wouldn't be in
Right.
there. But,
So if this nigga was in any other division, he wouldn't be in the playoffs.
but you can say the same thing with Trevor Lawrence because they went 8-9.
That's true.
They're
Difference is, like, they flipped the script
Yeah.
in the season. Like, they were shit, and then, like, they just, like, they're on the
yeah.
They would, like, the Bucks have just been, like, lose, win the whole season.
Yeah, that is true.
Yeah, the Bucks have just been kind of hobbling down to the finish line, like being perennially average every game, and just having like a comeback winning drive against people like the Cardinals.
Or the Saints. Remember that game?
You got yeah, I do.
Bro, he was ass in that
He was asked that whole game, and then he had that comeback winning drive. So it was a love.
And they got bailed out against the Panthers. They're lucky that Sam Darnold just folded.
Because, bro, all their quarterbacks suck. But the Jags, like Fred was saying, they were like, what, 2-7 or something like that? And then they just started ripping off.
Yeah,
they're
Go to the Lions.
I mean, Tennessee collapsed too. They were what,
Unfortunately,
7-3?
They didn't get it.
They didn't get it.
I think they should have. I think I would like to see them play the 49ers than the Seahawks.
They would have been a better matchup.
Yeah.
You got one more game.
Huh?
You got one more game.
They had the same record. But it's like they beat the Lions, so that's the only reason why they
You got one more game.
Should have been 9-8. If they were 9-8, they'd be in the playoffs.
Who was 9-8?
If the Lions were 9-8.
Oh, they won.
Oh,
The Seahawks, yeah, the
We were
Seahawks won
9-8.
9-8. They just beat them
if they went 10-7,
10-7.
Yeah. One more
then they'd
game.
be in. We would have been 7th seed if that happened, and then I would have been very upset.
Well, yeah, you wouldn't have been taking a fat. I wouldn't have ever picked y'all then because San Francisco, that's a
San
fat
Francisco,
That's a fat
Come
ass.
on, take it. Cheeks out there.
That's when he took his lunch money.
I might take
They're
the
gonna touch
money
him.
got
They're gonna touch him a
On
little
who?
bit, without his consent.
those
Definitely would have took his bites.
Well, we'll see what happens for the playoffs this weekend. But that's all the time we have for you guys this week. This is your host, Tom Tyree, my co-host, Fred Cerasuolo. Fred Harris, Rob Cerasuolo, Curtis Green, and our guest, Jake Dellanoce, signing off. Thank you guys for watching. Thank you guys for listening. We'll see you guys on next week's episode. Go ahead and click that button. Fred Cerasuolo.
Bye, Jake, you hoe.